So it's day 3 of building an app from scratch, and today
I continued learning Flutter from Udemy, but I realized something important. It is one thing to watch tutorials, it is another thing to actually write the codes yourself. And I discovered very quickly that learning becomes 10 times more powerful when you practice while watching. But there was a problem. Even though I had Flutter installed, even though all my SDKs were fully set up, I still didn't truly understand how everything worked. I didn't know where exactly do I write the code, how does the code connect to the emulator, how does it actually display on the screen. It felt like I had all the tools but didn't yet understand the system. So I paused. Instead of rushing forward, I took time to actually study the environment, how Android Studio works, how the emulator connects, how Flutter compiles codes, and how everything communicates behind the scene. And then I ran my first code. It was a success. But there was another twist. The code ran. The emulator was open, but nothing displayed. For a moment, I was confused until I discovered something simple but powerful. I had not selected the emulator. In my case, a Pixel 5 as the primary device. That small oversight taught me something big. Tools don't just work because they are installed. You have to understand how they connect. Once I selected the correct device and fully understood how the code interacts with the emulator, everything clicked. The app displayed, the connection made sense, and for the first time, I wasn't just following a tutorial, I understood the process. After that, I started playing around with the code, changing text, experimenting with hot reload, observing how small edits instantly reflected on the screen. And that's when it hit me. This isn't just about building an app, it is about understanding systems. Day 3 was glamorous. It wasn't about building a big feature, it was about connecting the dots, and sometimes that's the most important progress of all. Though I did not continue with learning on Udemy as planned for today, but then what is progress if it is made in the wrong direction? I ended up gaining an all-round understanding of the fundamentals that run behind the scene. In essence, this is what happened behind the scene. You installed Flutter, which automatically installs the Dart SDK. You install an emulator of your choice. That is, if you want to use a virtual emulator, you can actually choose to use your own mobile phone by connecting it to the laptop, either virtually or via Wi-Fi. Let me know if I should make a video specifically on how to connect and use your mobile phone as the emulator. I chose to use Pixel 5 as the virtual emulator. I installed it and I had it run normally. Now when you've done this, proceed to fully connect the virtual emulator to the already installed Flutter and Dart SDK. When this happens, write your first code or ask for the code on the screen. I will send it to your DM. Run the code and immediately it will reflect on your emulator. The emulator is there to serve as a check system should in case you make mistakes. If you ever struggled with setup, emulators, SDKs, or just figuring out how things connect behind the scenes, drop a comment below. I would love to know what part confused you the most. And if you have gone through this stage, share one thing you wish you knew earlier. Tomorrow, I'm starting my first real build and I want you involved. What kind of app should we build first? Something simple but useful. You know what? Just drop your ideas in the comments. Let's build this together. See you tomorrow.